Hey guys, welcome back. Let's talk some crypto. Let's talk some Shiba Inu. And one of the most notable discussions that we could be having, if you guys all hold SHIB, this is what we need to talk about because right now on the charts, we're going to look into kind of what's going on within the fact that SHIB can return to that 403 level. That would basically put us essentially where we're at right here, right now on the charts. We're talking about almost a 2x here, and that's where we're going to get into kind of the discussion because as we currently look at the 13th ranked crypto in total market cap, we're trading right here at 40146. And that 3 level is something that is obtainable, and we're going to talk about some of the metrics and numbers that leads us to the conversation if SHIB can return home to that 403 mark. So let's talk about it. It's been a great week for Shiba Inu, up 8.5% on the week. This is the weekly graph here. You can see getting as high as 4015. So essentially over the past month, though, it's been relatively flat, just down 1.1%. It has been a doubler. So we have seen a 101% increase over the last 365 days, albeit it's not something that we want to hang our hats on because I will pull up the trading view right now as we can talk about kind of what is going on with SHIB. And you can see it right here for yourself, guys. All right. I have the SMAs as well as my trading indicator within SHIB. This is where we were at. All right. And it wasn't that far away. It was March. It was the early part of March where we did brush that 404 mark. And all we're talking about right here is 403. So that would be essentially right here where I have this blue line. And I'll move it up for you guys so you can see it. This is all we need to do right here. This is a 2x from here. That is essentially where we're at. And I will make it a little bit longer so you can see kind of this parallel channel that forms where we did get quite a bit of consolidation amongst the 4024 level up to the 4030 level. So let's get into it. Let's talk about what needs to happen. I want to go over some of the data where we are at right here, right now. You can see kind of a little bit lower here on this chart. We have consolidated a bit at this level, and this dates all the way back into the first part of August where we did flash momentum down. We have not broken through that 100 and 150 closing SMA. That's kind of the next step up. If we do want to turn the kind of narrative within SHIB, and then we break through that, and then we can talk about getting back into 402s. That's kind of where I want to see SHIB consolidate even more. Right here, you can see right now, I'll put a little squiggly line so you can see kind of this wave within this that channel, that parallel channel for the kind of range where I look for SHIB to consolidate at, where I want to see it trading at, and that's kind of where we could go from here. So that's what I wanted to share with you. We're going to talk about this article. We'll get into kind of the news and why some of the data is showing that the long lost path to that 404 level, even 3, is still obtainable. If you haven't seen so in this chart and what I'm sharing with you, hopefully this article kind of puts it all back together. And please remember, none of this, what I talk about, is financial advice. This is just my thoughts as it revolves around the world of cryptocurrency. Please be sure to do your own research and due diligence. But this is a recent analysis that I felt relevant to discussing with you guys within TradingView that SHIB could advance to the 403 price level. Now, we talked about how we've struggled to break out. We've seen a lot of sideways movements, a couple dips along the way. We've got as low as the talking about getting rid of that 0. All right. That's where we would have had another 0. So we'd been in the 5 zeros. Okay. And that's something where we did reclaim that. But meanwhile, during all of this bull activity that we're seeing a lot of buying pressure within BTC. SHIB lost momentum. And that's another discussion, why SHIB can't build momentum, why we can't pick up from here. Personally, when it comes down to that, my thoughts with that is I think it's being run incorrectly. I think what we're doing with Kusama behind the scenes, staying anonymous, I don't really like that whole, game plan. I think that he should, dox himself and come out. And from there, I think that if he relinquishes power at the top, I think Shiba Inu can see a lot more gains because then all of a sudden it gets back to the community and really I think all that uneasiness where people worry about SHIB kind of having its own way of doing things, it's trading its own way, and, the siphoning, if you want to talk about that from the upper leadership. Maybe that's the case, maybe it's not, but that's just kind of where if we do relinquish some of that, I guess you would call it like totalitarianism within kind of having someone at the top of anything in crypto is never a good idea. The SHIB community is strong. SHIB Army, if you're watching this video, you can consider yourself one of those few, and that's kind of where I've seen this in person. The morale, the intensity, it's there. However, I just think that right now, from the upper level of that SHIB army, right, the leadership perspective, I think that's where we're failing. And I think that's been most notable with how SHIBARIUM has been run for the most part. It's kind of been all smoke and mirrors. I think it's been a great narrative. It's been a great kind of, mindset and kind of idea, but there's not been a lot of delivering going on in that realm, okay? But back into this momentum that SHIB can gain, all right, a recent analysis is talking about some of the technical indicators that are confirming that SHIB is set to rally. Now, this is something where we have fallen 67% from March from that yearly high, and that falling wedge pattern is a signal for a potential bullish reversal. You could see it as a falling wedge, or you could see it as a crypto crash, one of the two. But if it is a falling wedge, that is a bullish indicator that we look for this comeback to break above its above trend line, forming a double bottom. Obviously, that W is very bullish, and that's where over that last period of time, SHIB has seen a 10% uptick in gains. Now, the RSI, along with other cryptos out there in the market, has remained bullish, right? It's getting above 50. That's signaling a lot of buying pressure and further momentum to justify the ongoing rally. But the path to get to the 403 mark, that's where we're going to have that level that is very crucial to Shiba Inu tested once more. That is the 50-day exponential moving average, right? If we can break through that level, that uptrend could continue. The next target would be the 200-day, which would be super bullish. That would be above the 4016 mark. And then confirming that would strengthen the case for a stronger bullish move. Now, another thing to talk about is that ever so important psychological barrier. As soon as we get close to 402, we're going to hit one, and then we would obviously come close to the 403 mark. That's where if we do break through 402, we would obviously have a lot of resistance at that line if we do want to get back to kind of this yearly local high from the current price of 40147, which in relatively speaking towards all-time high for Shiba Inu, that would be about 50% if we could get back to the 4035. So along the lines of that, we are going to continue to test these support levels. I wanted to share with you kind of the data that's indicating that SHIB is very bullish right now. But me, in my personal opinion, when it relates to Shiba Inu, it starts at the top, and unfortunately, we're kind of subject to the ongoing morale of the rest of the market. We see a lot of the broader crypto market seeing a lot of bullish sentiment within the new presidential election, interest rates dropping, amongst other news. But that's kind of where we're at. We have to remain the course, and if you do hold SHIB, it's gonna be here before you know it, where we do get this bullishness. I'm looking at a 9-month window, Q4 of 2024 and Q1 and 2 of 2025. That's what I'm keyed in on. There's going to be a lot of great projects come about within the SHIB ecosystem on SHIBARIUM. We talk about a couple of them here every once in a while here on the channel. So make sure you have all that notification bells and all that good stuff turned on, because when I do drop some alpha in regards to those cryptos, make sure you guys are all in the loop. But for us as holders and kind of the part of the SHIB army and this narrative, right? Unfortunately, it's kind of along the lines of Dogecoin, right? There's too many meme coins. We're still at the same rate of adoption, and the market is just simply diluted without much confidence in breaking out. I mean, for example, Bitcoin has hit all-time highs this year, and SHIB did not get back to all-time highs. So we need something similar to 2021, and in order to obtain that, I think it's going to be more so centered away from the whales. We will need the whales to create FOMO and to create more user adoption, but it starts at the top for me. It starts with the leadership. It will trickle down. I mean, if SHIB was building a very, very great product out there, everybody would want in, regardless of the Pepe coins, the bonks, the dog with hats of the world, the Solana meme coins. Okay, it's pretty much for me, it's always been and always will be Dogecoin and Shiba Inu at the top. And unfortunately, we're just not there at the level that we were at 2021, where everything was running rampant and seemed like there was nothing that could get in the way of Shiba Inu before subsequently falling off and selling off as well. So that's what we're looking at. It would be awesome if we get back to that 403 mark. The path is there. The bullish level of activity is there. The TA and the metrics standing behind Shiba Inu, they're all present. All right. So what it comes down to is, will we get that FOMO? Will we get that user adoption? And will people finally feel a rejuvenated need to get back into SHIB? All right. So that's what I have for you guys in this video. As always, welcome to the channel. Make sure you guys subscribe on your way out. Smash that like button, and we'll see you guys all in the next video. Cheers.